Air Force was led on top of the 5th floor of Fisher Plaza here, home to KOMO-TV and KOMO News Radio as well, and several other radio stations and other businesses down here. All right, so we also have KOMO-4's Kelly Koopmans, who has been on the scene for us here. And Kelly, you had mentioned you saw 3 cars down there in that crash. What else have you learned?
We were actually able to talk to a couple of people who saw this firsthand. Several people who are working here at the Space Needle saying they were far too close for comfort, and it's really not too shocking when you see what exactly happened here. If you take a look behind me, and you can see that what used to be, I'm told, is a white truck. We were speaking with a gentleman who works right here out front of the Space Needle, and he says when this crash initially happened, he actually saw someone crawling out of that. We were told that that was someone who was being worked on as well by medical responders. Of course, we don't know exactly what happened to that person afterward, but when you see that car and what we're told used to be white, that fireball just consumed absolutely everything there. And the tail here, I think that when you're down here and you're experiencing what a lot of people are experiencing, there are a lot of unanswered questions. Who all was involved? But one thing, there's a lot of people out here already giving well wishes to everyone who was out here involved. It's just thick in the air. You can smell it here. The good news is that it seems to be somewhat under control, but if you're trying to go anywhere up and down Broad, that is not an option. They have it completely closed off here. Liz, I heard you mentioning the sound of it coming down, and perhaps you've mentioned this already, but being maybe 75 yards away inside the newsroom, there's a lot of construction that's going on down here as well. You often hear loud rumbles, but it did not take very long for many of us to realize this was something completely different that none of us had ever seen before. And when you come out here and you see it unfolding right in front of your street, it really is a surreal moment.
Absolutely. Kelly, we know that, and it's obviously, very, very heart-wrenching because it involves our workplace and our employees, which makes this especially hard to handle. Stand by there, Kelly, if you will. We want to bring in Officer Mark Jameson with the Seattle Police Department, who is joining us on the telephone. Officer Jameson, are you there?
I am.
Are you on scene at this moment?
I am not on scene.
Okay. What can you tell us in terms of this crash and anything, any new details in terms of casualties and or injuries?
Well, I don't have any additional information other than what you have already reported out. But just to recap, about 7:40 this morning, the fire department, along with the police department, did respond to Broad Street helicopter crash. According to the fire department, there are 2 confirmed fatalities. They did transport 1 individual to Harborview with critical injuries. We are working with the fire department. We are also working with our federal partners that oversee aviation incidents like this, and we have a number of officers down there at the scene providing traffic control. We would just ask anyone that does not need to be down near the Seattle Center to avoid the area. We're going to be down there for quite a while.
That was actually my next question is, what is next in this investigation, and how long do you think this will take? We have seen these types of accidents before, not as close to home, clearly. Sure. But this crash scene, sometimes it's out there for a while. How long would you guess this investigation scene to be up for?
Well, it's like you said, it's a very serious incident. Unfortunately, fatality. Our condolences to the KOMO family. We could be out there all day, and we'll be out there as long as the investigation takes. So I guess we are asking the public that if they don't need to be down there, if they can avoid the area, that would really assist investigators.
All right, Mark Jameson, Seattle Police Department this morning, and keep us posted here if you hear any new developments. I know we are all just getting this information sort of at the same time here.
Well, and again, we want to make sure, we already know that they've been up checking the roof as the investigation's underway to try to figure out what caused, or was there something that caused our Air Force, our news helicopter, to come off of the roof and immediately crash. So,
and if it did clip part of the building, what part of the building was it? I know that I don't know about you, I felt a bit of a rumble, but like we said, I just assumed that was part of the helicopter taking off or landing, because we do feel a bit of a rumble when we hear that helicopter take off or land. But as Seattle Police Mark Jamieson just said, anyone that doesn't need to be down here at Seattle Center, please stay away, because as he mentioned with this investigation scene, he said we could be out possibly all day, possibly longer. At this point, it is too hard to tell, as this incident is very fresh right now. It's only about an hour old. This helicopter crash happening at about 7:40 this morning. Fire crews, police crews immediately on the scene, so kudos to them. Just a very, very difficult story to cover, as this is part of our KOMO family here.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what makes this even more difficult, on top of the many, many tragedies and things that we cover here and around the globe. If you are just joining us again, we're breaking the Good Morning America coverage due to this breaking news of a deadly helicopter crash happening right here at KOMO-4 and at the Seattle Center, right at the base of the Space Needle, as our helicopter was taking off this morning about an hour ago at about 7:40 in the morning, only a couple of seconds up, and eyewitnesses say it made one full rotation, the nose was down, and it came crashing down right there next to the Space Needle there on its side. We saw and heard that explosion, a fireball. 2 or 3 cars were hit and were burning as well, and now we know that there are 2 fatalities, at least right now, confirmed from Seattle Fire, and 1 person in one of the vehicles, a 37-year-old man, was taken to the hospital with critical injuries. That's the latest that we know right now, as you continue to look at some live pictures from the scene now, where they've actually set up now ways to investigate and to help other people.
All right.